Mac and Perry in the place. Da-na-na-na. Mac and Perry go live to create. Da-na-na-na. Mac and Perry invite you to stay.
Hello and welcome to TELUS STORYHIVE's On Location here in Medicine Hat. We're live at Sammy's Kitchen and Bar. I'm Daniel J. Perry.
And I'm Michael, and this is
Rob Hudec.
Yes, thank you so much for agreeing to take the time and energy to meet with us. But first, if you could just give us a really broad strokes intro as to yourself and what it is you do, that would be awesome.
All right, well, I'm a musician from Medicine Hat, originally Saskatchewan boy from Leader, Saskatchewan, and just been playing music since I was 8 years old.
Our first little icebreaker game that we have is a bit of trivia. How are you with trivia typically?
Oh, very well, very good. I mean,
yeah.
I do very well, yeah. I'm sure I'll do very well.
Yeah, awesome. It's Medicine Hat based. So my first piece of trivia for you is, in 1883, what reached the area that would become Medicine Hat, causing a town site first to be developed? Was it A, the Northwest Mounted Police, B, the Canadian Pacific Railway, C, a battle between the Blackfoot and Cree First Nations, or D, a traveling hat business?
I think it was the battle.
Ooh, that is not what we have. I would be curious to do more research myself, but we have B, the Canadian Pacific Railway.
Oh, that was my second guess.
That's super fair, that's super fair. I'm going to throw it to Michael to offer you another piece of Medicine Hat-based trivia, and we'll see how we go.
all right, Rob. So, rich in natural resources, including natural gas, coal, clay, and farmland, the town of Medicine Hat became industrialized and was known in the early days as A, the Fort Worth above the 49th, B, the Pittsburgh of the West, C, the Memphis of the North, or D, the Phoenix of the Prairies. What do you think?
I'll say the Phoenix of the Prairies.
Yeah, okay, not quite. It was the Pittsburgh of the West.
We'll move on to our this or that. I'll let you do the honors. Super simple. Just give it a read, or I can read it for us, and we'll see what we pull.
Just one?
Just one.
Switch song during or after?
I think for myself, if I'm alone, like just driving in a car or something, I usually just let the songs play because I'm pretty selective about my music, so I can usually just listen to them all the way through. So I'd probably just say listen all the way through. But if I'm really not feeling it, I will skip the song. Yeah, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'd have to agree the same. I usually like to, I'll put on an album and let it play. But if it's not doing it for me, it's on to the next one.
On to the next one. What else we pull? We've got sweet or salty.
Both.
Yeah.
Well, I love chocolate, but I guess I probably like sweet better. I don't like too much salt on anything, so.
That's fair. We may disagree there. I love salty stuff, salty snacks, so I would have to go with salty.
It's tough, Rob. I kind of agree that I like sweet and salty, so it's hard to choose, but I would say I like more things that are salty, so I would go with something savory, some popcorn or something. It's so good.
What do we got? Ski or snowboard?
I've never snowboarded, so skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't a good skier either. So.
Oh, no. I would say snowboard, just because my brother lives out in Lake Louise. I don't get out there as much as I'd like to, but he snowboards, so I just kind of took after him and snowboarded. That's enough of this or that. Let us move on to our tumbling towers.
I don't know if I've ever done this before.
Oh, really? Okay. First time for everything. There we go. And then we'll throw that on top, and it's number 17. Let's see what we've got. What is a good habit you've developed over the years, do you feel?
Good habit, reading, I guess. Not to sound too exciting, what's a good habit?
I think that's a solid answer, honestly.
Yeah.
Reading, any specific genres or style?
I like in-depth, like more spiritual and just on how the mind works, how we think, and things like that.
Interesting. Nice.
And how to just relate to people, I guess, would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all.
No, super fair. I love it. Yeah, yeah. I think for myself, you know, something that I've tried to develop is like stretching, just a regular practice of, be it yoga or whatever. Just trying to stretch more,
Nice.
keep the body limber. So,
I guess, yeah.
How about you, Michael?
Yeah, as far as a good habit, one that I've been doing for a while, quite a long time, is journaling. So I every day journal a little bit about my day. And yeah, it's a nice way to reflect, and sometimes I look back on the journal entries, but that's, I think, like a nice habit that I get into and helps me kind of relax and go to sleep, and it's nice.
I'll let you do the honors, see if we can get another one.
I better not do that one here.
You got it. And
54.
woo, right on the other side. 54. What's one act of kindness we should all do more of, do you think?
Welcome each other. You know, smile. Hello. You know, just that's all it takes.
How about you, Michael? Anything come to mind?
Yeah, I guess along those lines, I think about like even just like listening and being a good listener. And yeah, I think that's something you could do for someone and give them your attention, and that would make them feel heard, and yeah, probably make for a better experience and conversation.
I do think that's all the time we have for this segment. I'm super excited to dive into our interview segment and just get to know a bit more about your journey. What can you tell me about the start of your musical career and journey?
I remember, well, from a big family, and we had so there's 5 boys, 5 girls.
Wow.
But the boys had their own big room, and then one night, my brother had my older brother that I play music with, he had a guitar from a friend, just an electric guitar that wasn't plugged in, and he was playing Lion Eyes, the beginning for the Eagles song Lion Eyes. I don't know if you know that. And it just, I just thought, wow, that's amazing. I have to learn. And shortly after, I asked my dad, and he had a little guitar, and he gave me a 4-H songbook, and a bottle of wine was the first song I learned in A.
Okay.
So yeah, I knew I had to play. I was just drawn to it.
Was it just the song choice, or was it just the setting, like with your brother playing that song?
It was the tone of it. Like it was just and then the chords he was playing, like probably because I always like the melodies and like the slower songs, ballads, because it's a G major 7th chord, which is kind of, well, jazzy, kind of nice chord. And I think of, like later on with introduction to the blues, like with the notes as well, too, bending the notes, and like I was kind of a quiet kid, I think, growing up. I had lots of friends and all that, but I was reserved maybe in crowds and that, but back to the notes again too, like any sad note or anything, the guitar has such an expression to it. You know, I can put that sadness or happy or whatever I'm feeling into the notes, and yeah, it makes me feel great. I just love it.
Growing up in Saskatchewan, do you feel like that had any influence on your musical journey or life in general?
You have to be honest. Everyone has to be honest in a small town. But there were some older guys that had the band, and then you could hear them blocks away in the small town. So then we get on our bikes and check it out and get as close as we could to listening to them rehearse.
Right.
And then also my brother also had a band, and so they'd rehearse at our place, and then of course I'd get a chance to listen and watch if they'd let me.
Yeah.
And then if they'd go down to the park for a cigarette or something, and my brother would say, "Don't touch the guitars," but that didn't stop me.
Yeah, of course.
So I'd sneak in there and grab a guitar and play a little bit, and yeah.
Do you recall like your first performances with your brother, or what happened next?
My first performance with my brother was I think it was a 40th anniversary, and at Cabery, Saskatchewan, and we had rehearsed I think for 6 months before we went out playing. We were a 3-piece band with the drummer. We had a good dance, and everyone was happy, and we signed a drum, an old drum hide, drum skin, and maybe a stick, I think. And then the following weekend we went to Tabor, Alberta, and played the Royal Hotel. So I think we went on after after a stripper, I think. So,
Yeah.
So one extreme to the next.
You started playing with your brother at 18. What was that like, being in a band with him? Did you consider yourselves professionals at that point, or not quite?
Oh, no, I don't think so. We'd always see guys, other bands. We'd always, if we were in another town or city, we'd check out the bands who had live entertainment, or if there was a jam. And but then you'd always see someone better than you, or you always kind of put yourself on a level. And then if you see someone who's doing stuff that's like, what is he doing there? And so yeah, that kept us humble. And but we were confident when we played.
You mentioned you got to travel a little bit with your brother, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. What's the furthest you were able to travel to, do you think?
Was it, well, driving, it was Merritt, BC.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was a long trip with the drummer, myself, my brother, his wife, and a newborn baby in a van.
Oh,
So-
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a long trip, that's for sure. And like we used to do the Riderville parties for Grey Cup. So we've played in Vancouver and Ottawa and Edmonton, I guess, and Regina were the four that we did.
Playing in with a band with your brother since 18. What came after that?
We moved from Leader to Swift Current, and were there about 7 years, I was, and then I moved to Medicine Hat to work at a music store for a friend, and I did that for 7 years, and in the meantime, you can get to know other musicians from Medicine Hat and area, and then we had a blues trio that we were pretty popular on a Thursday night at the Silver Buckle in town here, and then from there, just with the economy and everything was slowing down, so I was doing a duo for a while, and then it just broke down to solo performance, and that's what I mostly do now. Just because it's I can make it work.
And then you made your way over to Medicine Hat, it sounds like, and a lot of that community seems like you're still in touch with, able to connect with.
Because I quit my job, and then I was a stay-home dad with my son at the time, and then for those years, and so then you kind of lose contact with all the musicians that came into the store. In the last few years, I'm hosting a jam session at the Casa Amigos, and so lots of musicians are coming out, new musicians and old musicians, and in between, and so it's very rewarding, and that's lots of fun.
Yeah. What did that mean to you to A, maybe be able to, and B, just to take a break and focus on family and raising your son? And
Probably best years of my life, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was still playing, I was still, I was managing that, and finding, a babysitter for him and all that, his grandma or my family or some friends. But it worked out. Yeah. So family was supportive on both sides, so that's a good thing.
So the music store, was in
Medicine Hat here.
Medicine Hat here. Yeah. Well, what's that like? I try and think of an equivalent for me in my craft, and I don't have one currently. But working at a music store, get to know the equipment. You spend all your money on equipment, or yeah. What was that like?
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Well, my boss, Pete Mueller, just a great guy to work with, and he taught me so much about all kinds of guitar setups and setting up lots of things, and I learned a little bit of mandolin.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because I had to, because if you demo it, you have to play a few chords. So.
Right.
And some of the technical stuff, like some of the recorders, or you had to dive deep into how it worked. But then you just kind of learn the basics of them to show the customer and all that. So
Nice.
Lots of fun, interesting.
Yeah. And so what happened next after the store?
We're still playing in the band, and then I started with the duo and the solo performing and recording. I guess I shouldn't forget my recording. I've always been doing recording through those years, and I've done a few albums. And now it's mostly just singles, just because that's the way it goes. To do a whole album, I don't know, I've got ideas of doing like an acoustified blues cover album. I've recorded one called Tuxpan about our trip to Mexico. Kind of, it's just an instrumental Spanish kind of thing. And so that'll be released in a month probably. And yeah, so I'm doing that. I should push myself for more writing and all that, but I do it when I feel it's the right time.
I'm curious, what does it mean to you to be a musician, and how might that have shifted over the years? Like if you think back to when you first started, or first band, or in the band with your brother, what do you think it meant to you then, and then now we'll go with?
Well, I think then is just the excitement of playing for people, which is, it's still there, of course. I really enjoy playing for people and their reactions, and then you're meeting people all the time, and then you're seeing old acquaintances as well, and yeah, so it's just the joy of, because people are usually, if they're not in that great of a mood, you can tell at the beginning if they're going out for supper or whatever. Yeah. But by the end of the night, if they have a drink or two and they're listening to live music, and I say the same thing too. If I'm listening to live music through the night, and especially if it's at a good level, where it's nice and you can still visit with whoever you're with, the live music thing is just, it lifts the spirit for sure.
Is the value in the performances, or is it a mix between both that and just practicing by yourself on your own time?
You can rehearse something as much as you want, and of course it's a benefit for sure, because then you have that confidence of playing because you've rehearsed it lots. And there's nothing like some of the best performances for people that are listening and enjoying it is when they request a song and you just wing it and just sing the first verse or the chorus, and they just love it.
What do you feel it takes to be a musician, or even in a band?
You have to practice on your own, because you don't want to bring it to the band if someone hasn't practiced much and one has. I mean, you're going right away, you're going to have little disagreements or something.
Yeah.
So I think, and then you have to have fun. You have to have fun, and you have to play for the people too. You have to play for the people. You're there for they're there. If they're paying to get in or what have you, you're there for them. And then of course you can still throw in your originals here and there, especially if they're asking for it.
Right.
Like I know that there was a time in our life with my brother and that we were into blues, so then we'd go to a dance and then we were trying to play a little bit more blues, and it didn't go over very well. In fact, someone said, you guys are playing too much bluegrass. So you can get caught up in that. With me too I like to play for the seniors especially. They're there to visit. When they want to have a good meal, have a few dances if they can, and by midnight, if they give you a thumbs up, that's the greatest thing. If they've had their fun, they're ready for sleep, and then we can turn up the music and rock out a little bit for the crowd. And that's what I tell anybody that's learning guitar. If they want any advice, I just say, just have fun with it. If it gets a little bit too stressful or whatever, just put the guitar down, go do something, and then in the meantime, your mind will relax that, and you go back to it, and then continue on. But always have fun with it, because it's a waste of time if you're going to get mad or frustrated. Yeah.
What's a non-arts related skill that you've had to develop that has maybe made you a better musician, do you think?
Just inventing little things, like stands for lights, or for like even little doodads that I have on stage. I invented not invented, but a stomp bowl. So it's the recycled wooden bowl. I just put a little mic cartridge in, an input jack, and you just plug it in. And I figure if you're playing guitar and you're tapping your foot, you may as well have some percussion there, because it can get people dancing too, because they can feel that, especially if it's like a subwoofer with your system. And then I have a tambourine on my other foot. I seen somebody had a wooden paper tray, and he had a microphone underneath it. It was just a solo performer, and I thought, wow, I can do that, and I have to do that. And so I did have a microphone in there to start, but I got to do this I can do another a better way. I can do it better.
That is the time that we have for this segment. So thank you so much for your time and energy. And I'm super excited for our showcase. But yeah, this has been TELUS Storyhives on location here in Medicine Hat. We're at Sammy's Kitchen and Bar. I'm Daniel J. Perrin.
I'm Michael, and this is
Rob Hudec.
And we'll be right back.
Welcome back to TELUS Storyhives on location in Medicine Hat here at Sammy's Kitchen and Bar. I'm Michael.
I'm Daniel J. Perriman, and this is
Rob Hudec.
Nice, yeah. Well, yeah, I really enjoyed your segment with Daniel. This is the showcase portion. So, you, being a musician, you're very graciously accepted to play some songs, which we really enjoy. It's always entertaining. What's the name of the first song you're going to play?
The first song is called Tuxpan, as in Tuxpan, Veracruz, where we traveled to from Mexico City to Veracruz on a holiday. And so, yeah, it's just the song was in my head, and it's got the faster part of the song is like we're driving and going through, seeing different sights, and then when it slows down, we're at the ocean kind of thing, and then back on the road again. So
yeah, look forward to hearing it. So whenever you're ready, take it away, Rob. Oh, that was great. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, it really took me on that journey of you on your trip and going slow and fast. And I noticed, like you mentioned, like when you were playing jazz, you do that thing with the strings, and it seemed like you were doing that a little bit too with the Spanish guitar, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And what would that process have been like? Like you were on this trip and you were inspired. Like how long did it take you to create this piece?
Well, it was in my head. It's just, I mean, that basic rhythm is in lots of Spanish songs. So, but yeah, it just came to me, I guess. It might have been before, up to the trip, that I had it in my, like an idea of it. But yeah, after it was all said and done, is when the creative juices were flowing, I guess.
Okay, so you didn't have your guitar on the trip or anything?
No, I didn't. Actually, well, my wife is from Mexico City, so the last time I was there, one of the neighbors lent me theirs for a few days. So, but yeah, so I had to make sure my calluses stay tough and my fingers.
Yeah. Do you guys go back often to Mexico?
Usually every year. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So does your wife enjoy the Spanish guitar then?
Oh yeah. Yeah. She loves Spanish music and introduced me to lots of artists. That's for sure. Like there's Natalia Lafourcade. She's probably one of my favorite artists. She's Mexico's sweetheart. Yeah, she's very talented. She plays traditional, and then she'll have traditional singers or older singers join her with duets, and then she does pop music as well too. So she's awesome.
Nice. You haven't met her. You're just talking about like her music.
Yeah, just her music. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe you introduced her.
Maybe someday. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And what do you like about that Latin music? Spanish guitar, things like that.
Again, it's like with blues too. There's so much passion and so much feeling in the music. Like it's just, especially the rhythms too. Like the rhythms are awesome. Like there's so many different. It just gets you moving. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I felt that. You can really get that emotion. And it's not like a waltz or something. I don't know. Yeah, or it's just, it really makes you want to move.
Yeah.
I want to get out of my chair, but I didn't. Yeah, it's great. And then you had like an accompanying track that you would have recorded that. So that's you as well, I assume.
Yep. Well, I just use a looper pedal, so I just loop the first verse, I guess, of the guitar, and then I play along to it.
And so that loop, like the thing you just played, like live, because we are live.
Yeah, and I canceled it off already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I never store anything. It's always.
I thought it was like a pre-recorded thing. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, just
loop it in. Looper. Huh.
Yeah. And this is a 2-track looper, so I'll have actually this microphone I'll use for my percussion stuff. See, I have in the song. I just got this thing for the when the song slows down.
Ooh.
So I have that.
What's this called? You don't know.
I think it's a Panji seed shell shaker.
Okay.
Say that 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you'll loop that in?
Yeah, I have it when the song slows down. I was thinking that's all it needed was that. So I just bought this last week on Amazon.
Yeah. Oh, cool. And I guess you as primarily a solo performer, that kind of adds a bit more to your performance?
Well, like with this mic, so I have my track 1 is my percussion, so I could do like a bar of little percussion. Like if you want, for instance, I could go like this. Add this if I want.
Oh, that was cool. Wow, that was amazing.
And then I can loop the guitar too. I didn't do it on that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I'll play along, so it's like a whole band. You know?
Yeah, just riffing there. That's great. Yeah, we're gonna up our live stream game and get a looper, sort of looping stuff in. That was great.
It's been a game changer, that's for sure.
Yeah. How long have you had that for?
Well, this is a kind of a step up. I've been using a looper ever since my solo started, so a few years. But this one I got about a year ago.
Nice.
The Boss, and the gigabytes. It's a 32 gigabyte, so it really records pretty much. Well, you heard it. It sounds like there's another musician there.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. That was really neat. Oh, that's great. So, Rob, you've got another song. What's the name of this song?
This one's called "Oh Honey, Won't You Please Come Home."
Okay.
And this I recorded off of my Dandelion album in 2005, I believe. So
Okay.
it's a bluesy number. I was getting some airplay quite a bit every day, actually, with Holger Peterson on what was that? Was it Galaxy of the Blues or something?
Okay.
So it was quite an honor because you'd see like Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, and then Rob Hudec would be on the playlist the day. So I printed off some of those and put them in a frame.
Yeah.
So so this is that song.
Nice. Well, yeah, take it away.
Cool. Whoa, honey, won't you please come home? Whoa, honey, won't you please come home? I'm sorry I did you wrong. These nights without you are so long. Won't you please come home? When you told me you were leaving, it was such a crying shame. When you told me you were leaving, I knew I was one to blame. Oh, honey, won't you please come home? Oh, honey, won't you please come home? I was acting like a fool. Now I'm feeling these low-down blues. Won't you please come home? You tell me I don't treat you right in public places, my eyes wander. You tell me I don't treat you right, and my love for you should be stronger. Oh, honey, won't you please come home? Oh, honey, won't you please come home? I was acting like a fool, now I'm feeling these low-down blues. Won't you please come home? You tell me I don't treat you right in public places, my eyes wander. You tell me I don't treat you right, and my love for you should be stronger. Oh, honey, won't you please come home? Whoa, honey, won't you please come home? I can't take these lonely nights. I promise to treat you right. Won't you please come home? Treat you like a queen and bring home all the honey. I'm gonna treat you like a queen and give you all my money. Oh, honey, 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 won't you please come home? Whoa, honey, 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 won't you please come home? I'm gonna make everything alright. Love you every day and every night. Won't you please come home? Oh, yeah. Ooh.
please come home.
Nice. Oh, that was great. Another song with feeling, absolutely.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Great. Well, I mean, I guess that is actually all the time we have for this segment. It's a rocking time to end on. So, yeah, really appreciate you telling us about your musical journey, and really also love hearing you play, Rob.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Like, it's a pleasure.
Of course, yeah. Nice. Well, this has been On Location, TELUS Story Hive in Medicine Hat at Sammy's Kitchen and Bar. I'm Michael.
I'm Daniel J. Perriman, and this has been
Rob Hudec.
If you or someone you know has a story to tell, scan this QR code and get in touch with the Story Hive On Location team.